Hi, my name is John Hare. Today I want to talk about an article reported in the New York Times on August 14, 2020. The basic title of the article was Clinical Trials of Monoclonal Antibody Drugs are taking longer than expected. And when you're thinking about setting up a clinical trial for something like coronavirus, which you really don't know very much about, obviously trying to come up with the actual protocol parameters are very difficult. As a matter of fact, one of the things they say in the article is that they expanded the criteria now to make it more easy for them to recruit patients. One of the problems with coronavirus to start with, especially when you're trying to do a clinical trial, if you think about it, you can have patients that go all the way from showing no signs of anything as far as the actual virus is concerned, all the way to, on the other spectrum, dying from the virus. Now, when you're recruiting patients, you don't know at the beginning when they've been tested positive if they're going to be a no symptom patient or if they're going to be a dead patient. So how do you set up and now they're going to talk about having what they call placebo versus actual drug treatments. So now you're trying to recruit a patient. First of all, you don't know where they're going to fit on that scale. Secondly, they also now have to come in and accept the parameters of the trial, which means they could be getting nothing but a placebo, which, by the way, these monoclonal antibodies are IV'd into your arm for a period of time. So to recruit a patient on something that they might be getting a placebo, probably not so happy about the thought of that. Anyway, a lot of things that are not easy to try to do on clinical trials. And we know about this. We're right now in the process of doing a clinical trial on C. difficile infection with one of our antibodies. And we're getting there, but we've even had to change the parameters of our trial a little bit to allow multiple recurrent patients, where the original starting of the trial we were going to do first recurrence. But so these are the kind of things that are a problem. And by the way, the same kind of problems are going to happen with a vaccine. So the argument is that a vaccine is going to solve all the problems of this coronavirus pandemic. Well, we're not sure, again, of a vaccine going to be able to work. And not only that, you're going to have the same problems that the monoclonal antibodies are having. Is that, okay, how did you know which patient, again, was going to succumb to the virus or was never going to have any symptoms for the virus? So you'd really have to test thousands and thousands and thousands of patients on a vaccine just to see if you couldn't determine that the difference you got with that vaccine was better than what you've seen so far on the results of treatments that they've had with no vaccine. And the data from that is relatively limited because it's only been around for 6 or 8 months. So really what should probably happen is we should be thinking about something else to try to figure out how to let us get back to living our lives. And we're talking masks if you're going to go out into a public space. Now we talk about masks and listen, if you ever think about the size of a virus, if you could make a mask that would protect you against a virus or from you spreading a virus, you wouldn't be able to breathe, because that virus is so small. One of the best analogies I heard the other day was somebody saying throwing sand through a chain link fence. Yeah, you might protect some of the sand from getting through, but on the other side of it, not very effective. Why don't we think about a biological mask? Something that would actually prevent the virus from infecting the receptor cells that allow the virus to invade your body to start with. We've got a solution that we think will work. And we're backed by some pretty heavy-hitting people that are involved in this. The United Egg Producers of America, for one, who represent 300 million layer hens and 90 billion eggs produced a year, believe that our solution could work. And basically what that solution is that you would have the antibodies that we could produce from that solution that we could give to you in an oral dose, because your receptor cells for that virus are in your gut and in your nose. You would have a nasal spray that would protect your nose from infection, and you would have oral tablets that you would take before you're into an infectious situation that would protect your gut receptor cells. Nothing is going to work 100%, but at least that would give you the confidence, better than a mask, to now go out and jump on an airplane, crowded airplane, or go to your favorite sporting event. Anyway, have a look at MediEgg.com, and that's MEDIEGG.com. And that's our solution. If you think there's something there, give us some support. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll talk to you soon.